Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to be good at Gorilla Tag. This is a tutorial for beginners, people that have not been playing very long and just recently got Gorilla Tag. Well, if you're looking for a tutorial, I've got you. Don't worry. Okay. Well, let's go. So, the first place you're gonna want to go, well, most likely, you've jumped down from tutorial. That is the tutorial up there. If you just got the game, you've jumped down from tutorial. And you'll probably be in this area. This is called the forest map. It is the most popular map in Gorilla Tag. There is many things you can do in this map. That's part of the reason why it's so popular. Okay, once you're over here, you'll probably notice that if you touch the ground, your character bounces and they move around. You'll probably start trying to jump really high. Boing, boing, you'll go really high. Well, that is a lot of mistakes new players make. Because look, if you pushing forward, look how much faster I go. I go a lot faster. I push forward. There's also this thing called funny running, which is this. Makes you move pretty fast. It takes some practice to do, though. Makes you move really fast. So instead of pushing up, you see you barely go anywhere. You barely move forward. Boing. If you hit yourself up, you're not going anywhere. That's why you just want to push forward. It should help you a lot when you're normally ready. I'm going to give you something. If you can run from here to the campfire in 10 seconds, I'd say you're pretty good at that. On to the next easiest thing, which is called pinch climbing. Pinch climbing is another very basic thing. If you might have seen people do that. That is called pinch climbing. It has nothing to do with pinching. I don't know why it's called that, but pinch climbing. If you go over and try it, you'll probably notice one thing, just fly off the wall. And you can't reach it. Well, to prevent that problem, if you just put your head straight, don't look up, trying to see if you made it really high. No, just look straight. See how much better it is. If you push, and you also want to push, you want to grab the wall like this and just throw it behind you, throw it under you. It's like you're trying to throw something under you. It will take some practice, but once you get good at it, but you should be able to get really good at it pretty quickly, or at least know how to do it. You might not get really good at it really quickly. So, once you've got the pinch climbing, now we're going to do something a little bit harder, which is, again, pinch climbing, but we're going to be doing it on different surfaces. So if you want to try, I'll show you a couple good pinch climbing practice spots. I'd recommend doing them in the order I'm doing them right now. So you want to start off with that wall, of course. And then you want to go over to here and practice with around the thing. When you're pinch climbing on these, you may think you have to put your arms around it, but you saw how I just did there? My arm just phased through it. That's gonna happen if you try to do that. That's why you don't hug it. You just want to hold it with your hands from the sides and just throw it under you, basically. like you were trying to throw something under you. Now, the next spot is here. You could try. It'll probably take some practice, but if you do this spot on stump right here, it will be very helpful for practicing on more open and bigger and wider surfaces. Because the first two you practiced on were just these big pillars or walls. On this, it's more wide, so you have to be careful. To like push it in almost. Like you can't really act like you're throwing it under you, which makes it kind of difficult. So you want to throw it down like that. The next spot is if you go over to the campfire. You sit by the campfire. There's this little light, little like street light. If you go into it, you can try, but it will take some time to practice. Once you do it, if you saw how I like go back to like, I just am over here. That will probably happen if you climb it right. It'll probably happen, but if you dang it. Just keep straight, focus on the pinch climbing. And once you get up to here, you can like look up right at the end and then throw yourself up and get on here. And you can like branch, whatever. Okay, now, I guess I lied. There is one more. You can try on these big trees. So, yeah, got that. All right. Wall bouncing. There's two spots you can do it in forest, but I'm going to show you probably the easiest. So ever since this new school update, at the time I'm recording this, there's a school update, so put your hands on these. It will be pretty helpful. It's like the hopscotch thing. While you're doing it, you want to like push yourself up. Like sometimes people don't push hard enough and they just like, and they can't get to the other side. They don't hit hard enough. Let's practice pulling. It can even be helpful if you put your other arm like by your armpit. Right here. It'll just be helpful. Another thing that will happen probably is you flying off this wall. If that happens, you want to try to push up. You want to push like diagonally more. You don't want to push too far to the side because you just either go down or you don't really gain much height. Or you're going to push too high and you're not even going to be able to make it to the other side. Because that might happen. So if you just focus on putting your hands up here or like close to it, once you get above the hopscotch thing, you can try to get up here. And then the last hit, once you get up here, you don't want to hit as hard if you want to get like on the top of these double walls. The next spot you can double bounce, or wall bounce, is over here. If you go over here, look, stump, it might even be even easier because the walls are a lot closer. I would try practicing both and see which one's easier for you, but when you're in actual games, you want to practice double walls more because you'd go to double walls more than stump. Not as many things you can do at stump than you can on double walls. So, alright, the next thing I'm going to teach you is coordination, or like just climbing this treehouse. If you want to climb it really fast, climb it like just fling, fling. You want to just shoot yourself up. You don't want to start with that, though. You want to practice step by step. You can either go on these sides. When I started, I would put my hand on the side of these and try to climb out fast. But you eventually once you get used to climbing high on that, you want to try doing it from the middle. If you put your hands to the side more, it might even help. Like diagonally. I mean, you can just step by step maybe skip a couple steps in between. Once you practice that, you can try to climb it really fast. Oh, dang it. Kind of messed that up, but if you do it right, that will be helpful for climbing the treehouse. Look at that. There's not much you can do in the treehouse, but hey, it's a nice, spot to play around in, You can also, jump out of it, get some good jukes going. Now I'm going to teach you branching. Branching is very important. If you didn't know, real monkeys do that. Yeah, I'm sure 90% of you know. Just messing around. Anyway. Let's say you get on a branch. Here, this is a good tree to start because it's a pretty low branch. You can just bounce up to it. Stump has some good ones too. You can jump up here, and you try to bounce off this wall and land on here. And you want to try to jump from branch to branch. If you do it enough, you can get some good practice with branching, and you'll get pretty good at it. Dang it, but basically every time I join a lobby, I usually always go to this branch. So I'll get out and then go to this branch, jump to here. So it'll take some practice to do. You can do whatever from here. And dang. Anyway, there's many branches you can do it on. I would practice branching. Stump is probably the easiest to do it from. If you jump up to that branch, you can get some pretty far with some really big trees. And there's a lot of branches on them, so that can be helpful. The next thing is I'm going to teach you a couple of basic jukes. Let's say you're running from a lava monkey, an infection, and you don't want to get tagged and they're pretty close to you. You want to break their ankles, which is another way to say it. Monkeys don't really have ankles in this game, so wrists. Anyway, there's many jukes you can do in this game. A simple one being bouncing off a tree. If you go run up, oh. You don't want to do it where you just go straight into the monkey and get tagged. You want to sort of bounce up, but that will take some practice with scaling. First, so there is scaling trees, which is just flying up trees, basically. Just dang it. If you just not the best at scaling. I do scale a lot though, but take some practice. There's some people that can scale really good. You don't have to know how to scale to do these jukes. It's recommended, but I'll probably go over it real quick after this or something. If you jump into this pole, if you jump and hit hard enough, you can bounce off, and they probably won't be able to have enough reaction time to jump up and tag you. If you want, you can try to fling yourself up. If you don't feel safe, and you can hit yourself upward and just go. Another juke is, if you didn't notice already, your arms do not have colliders. Your hands and your head do. So look, here's proof. Look, hands, you already know that, but head. See, it doesn't bounce or anything, but it does have a collider, so keep that in mind. What you want to do now is, this is called the slide juke. Credit to G-Man Curly, he made this juke. So, you stick your arm through it, wait till you're pretty close to the end of the slide, and just throw yourself around it. Depending which hand, if you're right or left-handed, I find it if you're left-handed, doing it with the right hand is easier. Most people do it from this side, even though they're left-handed, but it could also be done. I find it for some reason left hand, it's easier to do it with the right hand than it is the right hand. So if you do this, You can do it from both sides. You just want to, it just takes some practice. You won't get everything instantly and immediately know how to do it. It'll take practice. You jump through the slide and just slow motion. My jukes video has some more jukes. I'm just going over those three those two because those are basic ones you can do. Oh, and yeah. So, next one, I'll teach you some quick scaling, maybe wall climbing and wall running. All right, so this is scaling. If you saw like that one juke, if you don't know, you probably don't get it. I would understand. It's pretty. Take some practice. You just want to bounce up, but that will happen a lot. Like you just bounce away from it. So you just try to hit straight up. Maybe hit with the other hand. So you like this jump, hit up. So if you get on this branch here, this is one of the easiest trees to scale on, in my opinion. These like branches that you can reach. And if you just try to repeat this process up, bounce back, bounce. And sometimes you can try to even add 2 or 3 hands. 2, 3. There we go. See? Oh, look, you can get up here and stuff. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed that. And now we're going to go to quick wall climbing and wall running. I'm not going to be as, like, detailed about it because I have a tutorial. I have tutorials on wall running and wall climbing. So if you want to have a more in-depth tutorial, I would go watch those now. Anyway, you could probably watch both of them because I might explain something in this video that I didn't in the other video. Okay. Anyway, what you want to do, bounce to one wall. See that? And make sure your hand is not against the wall like that, where you just like, it's hard. Look at me walk like that. It's harder, trust me. I did not go as high as watch me do this. I went a lot faster and higher on the second one I did. So, if you make an L, it might seem to help even more. So if you make an L with your hands, I find it a lot easier to climb. And one thing you could practice is just go to this wall and bounce to the other wall. And don't hit it with the other hand yet, and just practice this until you think you got it. And then add a second hand in. And then try to just get even more and more. Once you think you get used to the process, you can try to get all the way up to slippery walls, which is the gray wall. If you twist your body along too, I seem to get a better result, because look, here's me not twisting my body. Look at that. Look, I feel a lot slower. And if I do it with twisting my body, I just seem to get a better result. So, with wall running, you want to start with a wall climb. You don't have to, but you definitely should. Although, with enough practice, you can just, even once you get really fast at it, you won't need to start with a wall climb. You still could start with a wall climb, but you don't have to. I would definitely recommend it if you do it in public lobbies, though. But you don't have to start with a wall climb if you don't want to. I would just recommend it, because you can start here, bounce, and then get ready. Hit with whatever arm is closest to the wall. So, see this? You just want to lightly tap. You don't want to go like crazy hard because, yeah, if you saw it flew off the wall. That will probably happen a lot if you do that. I would recommend doing it with your dominant hand, the hand you write with. You just do it over and over again. I think wall running is a lot harder than wall climbing because I learned wall running first, I learned wall climbing first. So yeah, it would just take some practice. If you want, I could probably make a part 2 and show off more of like not the physics and like how to be good at this game, and more of like the maps, how to use the computer, how to buy cosmetics. If you want to see that, might make that my next video. So hope you enjoyed this. Just take practice. Just know you will not get it on your first try. Likely you will not be good at it on your first try. Actually, I can guarantee it. You will not. It will take a lot of practice and a lot of dedication and work. It'll take some time to get used to doing all the things. It took me months to start being pretty good at Gorilla Tag. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content on more advanced stuff, I have that. Have all sorts of things like the wall climbing, wall running, elevator climbing. So stay tuned. See you next time.